Hello, Sonia Curtis with SCurtisProperties. I wanted to talk tonight about terms on every deal that you're in, buyer and seller credits, negotiations after you're in an escrow, and leverage. And also I wanted to discuss the reality that whatever you list your property for as the seller is not necessarily the price that you're going to get. You could get a higher price, you could get a lower price. And a lot of that depends on the strategy that you and the listing agent decide to start with. If you decide to offer your house on the market for below market value, you may in fact generate a bidding war, which can then cause the terms of your contract to be stronger, and you could end up making more money in the long run, even though you started listing it low. So let me give you an example of that. Let's say you list your house for $1 million. Let's say there's a multiple offer scenario and you end up getting like a full price offer for $1 million, and your buyer looks really solid. They have a lot of reserves. They're going to be able to pay a lot of money. Let's say you also have a few other offers. Let's say you have a backup offer of like $975,000 cash or $950 cash. So now you have to look at terms. Of course, you're getting more money with $1 million than $950 or $975, but if it's an all cash offer as is, meaning that the buyer is not going to be requesting any credits for repairs, or that the seller do any repairs before the close of escrow, and they don't need to rely on an appraisal from a bank and the loan from the bank and all the back and forth with the bank and the loan officer and the underwriters to actually get the approval of the loan, the seller might just say, let's just take the all-cash offer. We know we can do this quickly. We could have a quick escrow. We don't have to wait 30 days. We don't have to wait for all the intricacies between the bank and the the buyer. And so they may just agree to that because it's kind of like more of a sure bet. But let's say they're not in a rush to close and they want more money, so they're going to take the $1 million. Now the buyer with the bank loan can still do their inspection, and if they find things that need repairs, they can request that of the seller. That's a normal thing in every escrow. However, if it's a multiple offer situation where the sellers have like 5 offers or 10 offers, and they're looking at all these offers, and they have all cash offers, they have really high numbered offers, even if you're the best offer and you get picked and you're in escrow now, if you get too stingy or greedy or nitpicky on asking for credits and repairs, it can actually hurt you because the sellers have leverage. They have all these other offers right behind yours, and if you make an outlandish request or an unreasonable request, or use these repairs as a negotiation technique or tactic to actually get your property for less money, the sellers are aware that that's happening and they'll say no. Because let's say it's $1 million, and let's say you ask for $23,000 in credits. That actually means if the seller were to agree to those credits, that they're actually making $977,000 on the sale of $1 million. See what I mean? So the bottom line is there's going to be a ledger between the buyer and the seller in escrow. When the seller credits the buyer, money is taken out of their credit, out of their plus account, and it's put over into the buyers as a plus, and it's a deduction from the sellers. Does that make sense? If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. But it's been a multiple offer scenario lately in Los Angeles. All of a sudden, it's really hot. There's a lot of multiple offers going on. So if you're representing the seller, you're golden because you can choose the highest and best offer. You can choose the best terms. Terms are also, in addition to that all cash scenario, how strong of a buyer does this buyer look? Are they able to close on time? Do they already have their pre-approval letter from the bank? Do they have the funds in their bank account to show that they can close on time? Are they going to be reasonable and not request a ton of money in repair requests? And sometimes the agents are negotiating back and forth before the seller will accept that offer. And if they're like laying down the law saying, look, we're not going to give you any more credits, so if you want this house, you're pretty much taking it as is. Then you could do your report, your inspection report, the buyer does. Now, if there's something major that shows up, absolutely, your agent should still negotiate for you and ask for some kind of credit or repair, or the buyer can walk away from the deal. In a multiple offer scenario, that's a little easier for the seller, because if you walk away, they've got other buyers right behind you. So there's just different considerations. Every deal is different. There's leverage going back and forth on who has the better offer and why, and then the terms, and then the actual price versus the list price that it goes for. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you.